I just found something out. Lor San Tekka had nothing to do with Rey being on Jakku. He wasn't watching over her. It was just a big coincidence. It might be old news to some of you, but if you didn't know, it's new news. So I'm going to debunk some popular theories going around Reddit regarding Lor San Tekka and Rey on Jakku in this video, so stay tuned. What's up, Urban Acolyte Army? My name is Prince, and I'm an Urban Acolyte. In this video, we're going to be talking about Lor San Tekka and the latest thing that was revealed in a recent Poe Dameron comic book. If you're new here, we obviously talk about Star Wars, but we talk about Marvel, DC, all those superhero action movies, and we talk martial arts because Star Wars and all that, the superheroes and all of that got me into studying martial arts and practicing meditation, right? So those are all things that are part of being an urban acolyte. So if you like this kind of thing, make sure you click that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you can receive a notification so that you know when I'm posting new videos. Anyway, like I was saying, Lor San Tekka had nothing to do with Rey being on Jakku. He wasn't watching over her. It was just a coincidence that Lor San Tekka happened to be there and Rey happened to be there. It was part of the building the story. Poe Dameron goes to Jakku to get the key to locating Luke Skywalker. The First Order comes also looking for Lor San Tekka. BB-8 gets away with the key. The key to the map. Rey finds BB-8, as we know in The Force Awakens. Finn helps Poe escape. They crash on Jakku. Finn runs into Rey and BB-8, and that starts their mission. That starts their respective heroes' journeys, which eventually lead Rey to finding Luke Skywalker and everything we saw in The Last Jedi. And that was the only thing that Lor San Tekka had to do with Rey. Now, if, like I said earlier, it might be old news. If you didn't know, then it's new news. This was actually revealed in a Poe Dameron comic book that came out after The Last Jedi. I'm just now getting caught up on all those old issues, so that's why I said it might be old news. We've probably known this for the last 2 to 3 months, right? Now, if you've seen my videos on Poe Dameron, a lot of those I was trying to guess at Phasma's identity. That was before we got the Phasma novel from Delilah Dawson, which was awesome. You know, I thought that Captain Phasma might have some relation to this other woman who's hopped up on stims and steroids and whatever kind of HGH they have in the Star Wars universe, named, I think, Commander Malaris. I don't remember her exact rank, but her name is Malaris, right? And I talked about the Poe Dameron comic book. The initial storyline, the main overarching storyline is Poe is on a mission to locate Lor San Tekka, just like we saw in The Force Awakens. Now, earlier I was thinking, okay, he's gonna go and do, you know, search out all the clues and everything, and it's gonna eventually lead him to Lor San Tekka on Jakku that we see at the start of The Force Awakens. But the latest storyline that just concluded said that's all wrong. Right? It's all wrong. Poe Dameron encounters Lor San Tekka before they meet up on Jakku. That's the next time they meet, right? And this is why I said Lor San Tekka had nothing to do with Rey. He wasn't watching over her, because this is the popular theory. I haven't looked on Reddit in a while, but people were, if I said this 2 years ago, some of y'all would be calling me a genius, right? See, they'd say, you've discovered the key to Rey's identity, and that is Rey's on Jakku. Lor San Tekka's on Jakku. Lor San Tekka knows the location of Luke Skywalker. He knows Leia. He's got history with him. He knows all about the Jedi and the Force, and he's a leader in the Church of the Force and the Tuono villagers on Jakku, the pilgrims who make up the Church of the Force there on Jakku. He's a leader. Rey is there. She's Force sensitive. Luke sent Rey to Jakku, or Luke and Leia had something to do with Rey being there on Jakku. Lor San Tekka has been there all that time watching over her until the time is right for her to return or someone to come and find her, because they will go there looking for Lor San Tekka. Now, at one point in time, I thought maybe Rey's parents, she ended up on Jakku, and they were trying to get her to Lor San Tekka to get information to get her to Luke Skywalker, because she's a child of the Force. She's showing signs of Force sensitivity, and they want her to be trained as a Jedi. Now, I thought that one for a while too, and then I finally let it go when it finally started to occur to me that, hey, Lor San Tekka hadn't always been on Jakku. And that is what we learn in the Poe Dameron comic book. We see Lor San Tekka has been out exploring the Force. And at one point, we learned that he's not beholden to the Jedi. He's starting to understand that, hey, not everyone can touch the Force, but everyone is of the Force. I can't touch the Force, but the Force touches me, because the Force the Force is life. If life is present, the Force is present. And it's not constrained to, it's not just the light side and the dark. There's just the Force. I think that's the Force potentium theory, right? Or if it's not, then it's the other one, right? And so when we first see Lor San Tekka in these Poe Dameron comic books, he's on Cato Neimoidia. Now, you might remember that because the Neimoidians were part of the Separatist army. Now, at this point in time, almost 30 years later, they're bankers. They maintain vaults, you know, because they're good with money, right? And you want people who are good with money and finances to guard precious things. And they're guarding or holding in one of their vaults this spherical shaped holocron. We've never seen one like that, right? The Jedi holocrons, I think, are they you know, like pyramids? No, that's a Sith holocron. The Jedi holocrons are like a Rubik's Cube, but we've never seen a sphere. And what Lor San Tekka tells the audience is that you need the light and the dark to open this, to seal it and to open it. So what kind of knowledge is in this? And who is this, a Jedi holocron? Is it a Sith? Is it something else? Is it, I'm the one in the middle, right? Is it something that's like Bendu, right? We don't know. But all we know is that somehow someone is making holocrons that requires the knowledge of the light and knowledge of the dark. Or maybe someone of the light and someone of the dark had to work together to preserve their knowledge, right? So there's a big question mark out there, and that's why I said in the Han Solo video that it looks like we're being teased that there are other Force factions, people who use the Force that aren't Jedi and they aren't Sith. They aren't in either one of those camps. Maybe there's whatever Snoke was. We don't know, right? But Lor San Tekka introduces these ideas. And what happens is Agent Terex, who's part of the First Order Security Bureau, right? You had the ISB of the Empire. Now you got the FOSB, right? He has been the main antagonist of Poe Dameron, right? He's the one searching out and spying on the Resistance and thwarting Poe Dameron's plans. He's the one seeking out Lor San Tekka for Kylo Ren, for Snoke, to locate Luke Skywalker, to get whatever secrets, or simply to thwart the Resistance plot or plans to locate Luke Skywalker, right? So Terex kidnaps Agent Terex can't kidnap himself. He kidnaps Lor San Tekka, right? And then the Resistance has to mount a rescue mission, and that's where they have their first meeting. They successfully, because Terex basically kind of turned on the First Order and dumped Lor San Tekka, was like, look, you guys can fight over the First Order and the Resistance can fight over him. I just want out. I'm out. I'm done with y'all, right? You're not bringing back the Empire, and I don't want any part of this First Order crap. Snoke and Phasma and Hux and Kylo Ren, you guys can, and I'm out, right? F you, F you, F you. You're cool. I'm out, right? That's basically what Terex said. So the Resistance ends up winning, and they bring Lor San Tekka back to Dakar base, and with Leia and Poe and Black Squadron and everything. This is before the events in The Force Awakens. And what we leave off is that Lor San Tekka says, look, I don't know where Luke is, but I'm going to find clues And when I find something, I will contact you and let you know. So what we see at the start of The Force Awakens is that Lor San Tekka has found that key. He has reached out to Poe and said, I got it. Come get it. And maybe someone intercepted the call because, you know, First Order Security Bureau. Maybe Terex came back, or, you know, he provided them with his keys on spying on the Resistance. We don't know. But the First Order somehow also figured out that, hey, Lor San Tekka's got something. He's there on Jakku. How long has he been on Jakku? Probably several months. It could be several weeks or days. We don't know. But the point is, Rey has been on Jakku, growing up, scavenging. Lor San Tekka's off scavenging, searching for clues on the Jedi and the Force, and learning, right, expanding his knowledge of the Force and his interests. He went to Jakku to settle down. He says, I want to write out my memoirs for people who come later who also want to investigate the ways of the Force the same way I have, right? So that we spread this knowledge of the Force, and it's not just tied to the Jedi and stuck in, you know, in this tree with old books, right, that only the Jedi can read, and, you know, you need a Force compass to locate, right? They're on Ach-To, or Ach-To, right? And unfortunately, we know what happens with him in the, you know, Kylo Ren probably cut his head off. But, you know, the whole point of this is that we learn that Lor San Tekka was not watching over Rey, and Rey is just, she's Rey random. She's someone that the Force reached out to. Darkness rises and light to meet it. Kylo Ren becoming more powerful in the dark side 10 years later, or has a strong affinity to the dark side. 10 years later, a child is born. Rey of Jakku, a no one, and she's got a powerful affinity to the light side of the Force. So powerful that anything she touches, anything around her, she also inspires, is what Luke Skywalker sees when he looks at her through the Force, right? And that's in the Last Jedi novelization, right? So, you know, this Prince, you're promoting Rey and feminism and you're SJW. No, it's a response to Kylo Ren. So, you know, Lor San Tekka had nothing to do with Rey. It was all Kylo Ren, right? Kylo Ren is the reason that Rey is so powerful, because he's powerful. And Lor San Tekka actually predicted that. I'm going to leave on this note. Lor San Tekka says that I sense the Force ebbs and it flows. Sometimes it speaks out and touches everything, and other times it recedes and appears to almost not be there. But I predict that the Force is about to reach out. It's about to awaken, right? And the darkness will become more powerful, but the light side of the Force will also become more powerful to respond to the dark side, right? He predicted all of this, and he's thinking that the Jedi will return, right? So he predicted all of this before it actually happened, and now we're seeing it play out, and we've got to figure out, you know, now we got to wait for episode 9 to see how things ultimately play out, right? Will Kylo Ren be redeemed? Will Rey and Kylo get together? And this is the Rey. When I say I don't support Reylo, this is the Reylo theory, as Vincent Vendetta said to me. And I guess I should release like our full 90-minute conversation. Of course, the last 30 minutes we're talking about like veganism and other plans that he has to do outside of Star Wars content. But he said, look, I think Rey and Kylo Ren are going to get together, and they're going to start. It's not going to be the light side or the dark side. They're going to become a new kind of Force user, a new kind of Force wielder, basically a new organization. And when I say I don't support Reylo, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Rey is firmly fit in. She's going to become a Jedi, but it's not going to be the Jedi of the prequels. It's going to be Jedi who don't feel like they have a monopoly over the Force, and that they're going to spread the teachings, the ways of the Force, not just to other Force sensitive people, but also to other people. Because you look at someone like Chirrut Imwe, the Guardians of the Whills. I mean, he seemed to have some kind of ability to reach out and perceive the Force, even if he couldn't touch it and manipulate the world through the physical world. He had this intuitive knowledge of things through the Force, through the practice and the ways, the training that he had. So that's I guess we'll call it story time, me telling you guys a story, catching you up on things that I've read in Poe Dameron comic book. If you like more videos like this, and let me know, and maybe I'll start sharing things, my insights on other things going on within the Star Wars canon, if I can stay up on the comic books, and I'll try to do a better job. 2018 has been really crazy. 2017 has been crazy too. I'm looking at getting a new job so that I can slowly grow this channel out the way I really want it to be, and not have to worry about AdSense and whatever changes YouTube makes. And I want to do some other things as far as growing out the Urban Acolyte Army and the brand. So, I'm open to new kinds of videos, but it's got to be stuff that I actually want to do. So, whatever you guys, do you like this kind of thing? Let me know that. And what are your thoughts about this whole revelation about Poe Dameron, Lor San Tekka, that he was not always on Jakku? He's only been there for a short time there on Tuono Village, and Rey's just been there doing her thing, learning how to fight and scavenging and learning how to fly on her flight simulator. So, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, click that subscribe button, and take your first steps towards joining the Urban Acolyte Army. Embark on the journey of becoming the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Continue to support this channel. You can do that by checking out more videos and sharing some of your favorite videos. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.